Bill Gates said, "I will always choose a lazy person to do a difficult job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it." What's a real-life example of this? 1. An engineer spent hours developing a program so they could start the coffee pot from their desk and not have to wait for coffee when arriving in the break room. 2. Every year in the Canadian winter, power lines would fail due to the weight of the snow. It took many days for enough snow to build up and break a line, so they employed a team to walk the routes and shake the poles to loosen the snow. One day, they saw a bear shaking the poles and realized that if they could get the bear to do it, they wouldn't need to walk the route. So they gave one guy a bucket of honey, and he walked the route painting the sides of the poles with honey to attract the bears. It worked for a few more years, but this still took a lot of time to do. Then they had the idea of flying a helicopter along the route with a trained sniper using honey paintballs to shoot the poles. On its maiden flight, the helicopter passed the lines and the downdraft blew away all the snow. The flights continue to this day, but without the sniper. 3. I was invited to my friend's yearly apple picking. It was a full day of apples, kids, and filling a truck for cider. I'm lazy and suggested we make the process more efficient with tarps on the ground. We managed in 2 hours what historically took all day. We didn't even get to the picnic lunch. Essentially, I ruined apple picking. 4. My ex-boss gave me an Excel sheet of 12,400 rows. The sheet had all the company customer data per row, some duplicated, and errors in a few of those duplicates. She needed me to go over the list row by row to check for mistakes and mark all the faulty entries. She wanted me to do that using the arrow down key and my mouse. I thanked her, sat down, and invested half an hour in Google, copy-pasting parts of formulas until I figured it out. Then I double-clicked the tiny rectangle to apply the formula to all rows. It worked like a charm. I stood up, got myself a coffee, talked to some colleagues, and went to my boss. She had anticipated I would need 3 days for this task. When I returned less than an hour later, she thought I hadn't understood the task or had a follow-up question. I will never forget her expression when I told her I was done.